Okay, we're back on In Person, and I'm of course with Ms. Tay. Looking at this model over here, it's making me think, okay, I want to buy a property like this because it looks really good, because it appeals on so many different levels. And then I think that, again, the thing that really gets me is you've created this entity over 8 years, because I was actually quite surprised to learn that SDB became a full-fledged property developer only in 2004.
Yes.
So you basically managed successfully to transition what was traditionally a tin dredging company from the 60s to a property developing powerhouse in today's market. What would you say were some of your biggest challenges in doing so? Why don't you come over here and stand by the pool and talk to me about it?
Well, if only there was a real...
Yeah, so what would you say were some of your biggest challenges?
For me, I would say that, well, just in case you think I'm very old, I'm not, okay?
No, that's the thing, that too I know.
Because I came into the company in 1997, 1998.
When you came back from
when
the
I
UK,
came back.
right? Yeah.
And I would say that there were challenges. And I think that if there weren't any challenges, and the fact that we pushed ahead, we would not be where we are now. And in 1997-98, it was the Asian financial crisis. So we did start off as a tin mining company, but then in the 1980s, we lost our way.
Yeah.
Because when we started to close down tin mining, because at that point in time, the tin prices fell, and so much so that the cost of doing mining was more than the tin price.
Yeah.
We had to also shut that down in the 1990s. So when we, when I came back, we were we lost our way. We weren't strong in anything. We were more like investors in manufacturing, conglomerate. I mean, we're a mini conglomerate, not a big one, but we were doing everything.
Yeah.
You know,
you're doing general trading, yeah?
Yeah, general trading. We were doing sand dredging. We were also doing manufacturing of steel wheels, manufacturing of aluminium spandrels. We were doing all that. And I would say that when the economic crisis came and the interest rates were very high, we had to make a decision what we wanted to do. So, and at that point in time, I would say that we lost a lot of money because it was like a pail whereby there were lots of holes. Whatever we put in, more came out.
It just came out, yeah?
Yeah. So then I would say that I took the tough decision of closing down a lot of businesses. So that's what we did from 1997 to 2003. And when 2003 came, we had to decide, because we had nothing else, what do we want to do? So we chose property development. That's when we started.
So what made you choose property development?
We chose property development because basically we had to make a choice. And I wanted to choose property development because it was a lumpy business. Basically, when we sold something, it was maybe 800,000, 1 million. So basically, and it would take 3 years to realize, I would say, the turnover. So I wanted to choose that because it was lumpy. And at that point in time, after we had changed from tin mining, we were naturally in property because we own this building and we own Hotel Maya. So it was just to further this relationship, and we chose property development. But at that point in time, when we closed down all these businesses, we're down from about 400 people to only 50, and we restarted. So we decided to go for property development. Right. And that's when we started. So
you restarted.
We were last time property investors.
Yeah.
But now we are actively in development.
Yeah. But still maintaining a good portfolio in property investing.
We only have two things. We only have Hotel Maya and we have this building.
Right, I see. Yeah. Okay. So again, it falls down to how did you get it so right in such a short period of time of under a decade? I mean, if you look at some of your contemporaries, all the other big developers out there, they have years and years, decades even of experience and portfolio behind them. But in the 8 years, you've created this brand where when you go out there to a prospective buyer, you mentioned SDB, some of the key words that would probably pop up include quality, would include reliability in terms of building methods, and also good thinking. It also boils down to that because of the more conscious decisions you make about sustainable energy and all that. So how did you get it so right?
We didn't get it so right initially.
At the beginning, right? Yeah, I read about that.
So basically, I would say that it is. I would say that what we did was every time we did something, we would reflect on what we did, what went right, what didn't go right, and eventually, I would say that we took what was good, we improved on it, and what wasn't good, we basically didn't do it. So a lot of it, I would say, is reflective thinking. And the other thing that basically made us think differently was because we don't come from a background of contractors. So we don't come from that. We look at concepts. We don't look at costs. See, I'm not saying we don't look at, our first point of initiation, I would say, would be we look at concepts.
Ideas.
Then, ideas, concepts. What do we think, how do you think this group of people would want to live? If we start off from cost, everything would look the same.
Yeah, because you will only have a certain cap that you can reach. Yeah.
So we start conceptually. We start on big thinking big. Yeah. So we start from a concept. We think that, oh, for this piece of land, what can we do here? Then we focus on what are the things we should focus on to make that credible. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
So like say, for example, windows on the park. We started off, it was 8.9 acres. We want to start off with building a park first. Then we talk about building apartments around the park. So we don't start off with thinking, oh, I'll build these apartments, whatever spare space we have, I'll just put pockets there. You know what I mean? So we start off with, if it's windows on the park, we start off with the park. Then we talk about building the apartments around the park. So I'm just giving you an example. So how we think think differently.
In other words, in gist, and I know I can have fun in saying this, when it comes to the ideation part of any project, you lock your accountants first. And then you let them in.
So I still have to let them loose eventually. So that's how we think.
Okay, got it. Okay, we have to go for another short break right now. You know, this is one interview I feel like I definitely want to have a longer time. I'm learning so much here. But when we come back, we were going to talk about ahead plans. So maybe we can have some tea over there. Okay, so stay with us on In Person. Okay.